Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia, and today I'm joined again by Barry Nixon of PreemploymentDirectory.com. Barry, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for asking.
Of course. So in today's video, we are going to be answering a certain question. But first, I just want to say, in past videos, you've identified the need for background screening and to have a policy in place for this as part of an implementation program for continuous screening. So now, can you tell us a little bit more about what's involved in developing this background screening policy for continuous screening?
Absolutely. And I just want to remind people that there is a 5-step process that we use. It starts out with background screening policy, which we're going to take a deep dive into, but that's followed by identifying sensitive jobs, making sure you align with your employee monitoring policies, make sure you align with your employee investigation process, and that you have an effective communication strategy. So let's talk about background screening policy and the important aspects of that. First and probably foremost is your policy must remind people that to conduct a background screen, you must have the person's consent. And so that's very critical. It's also important to define when you're actually going to do the screen. Are you going to do it on the 2 finalist candidates, only on the final candidate, or do it post-hire? What positions are you going to do the background screen on? All of your positions or certain targeted positions, which leads into certainly knowing what are your sensitive jobs, because you definitely want to do background checks on all sensitive jobs. And then you want to make sure you understand what type of background screens you're going to do. Criminal record checks, education checks, employment references, motor vehicle checks, credit searches. There's a whole array of them. You have to be able to find what those are. And an important one is to make sure you train your managers in what the process is. And I suggest that organizations have a quick video that managers can watch at the time that they have an opening that will refresh their mind about what the policy is and how to go forward with the hiring process. You need to make sure your process is FCRA compliant and that you have a consistent process in place for monitoring and screening employees that applies to everybody. And then certainly you want to be incongruent with your employee investigation policies. So making sure that all of these aspects are covered. And as you may be aware, we have a proprietary software that allows you to create a policy and do that in short order. And finally, I want to introduce you to a key resource, which is our employer's guide to implementing a continuous screening program, which will help walk you through how to implement this type of program.
All right, Barry. Well, thank you so much for telling us a little bit more about that. If you're watching this video, you now know that there's a lot of important things that go into your background screening policy, a lot of important questions to ask and make sure you have set up before you go into this background screening. So if you'd like to find out more from Barry and his team, and if you'd like to get their help, you can get in contact with them by giving them a call or explore a little bit more about the company at PreemploymentDirectory.com.